What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. I am wearing green today, but the damn price is red. You know how it goes. 108. You know what it is, guys? It's because I said we were going to be at new all-time highs by the end of the day. So likely the bull market's over. That's probably not what's happening. I still believe. I mean, 8 hours left in the day. It's possible. You know, if we move down enough, we get the proper reaction. I mean, it's a bit of a stretch. Maybe not by the end of today, but certainly by the end of this week, I think that we're still on track. Definitely not bearish on Bitcoin here, though I do assume we go a little bit lower first before we go higher, right? Here we are, 108.4K. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame here. 1 hour time frame is kind of stagnant over the past 4 hours, but relatively moving down, obviously. You're back at where you were over the weekend here. Of course, with a lot more volume. You moved up with some good volume, but you're moving down with more volume, it seems. We're on Binance USDT, so that is the most volume exchange that we have. I actually want to look at something real quick. Hold on, guys. Let me just make sure. Yeah, cool. Let's see here. 1 hour time frame looks bearish for the moment, right? 1 hour RSI, we got 2, 3 lower highs, or I guess 1, 2, 3 highs, 2 lower highs, 1, 2, 3 highs, 2 higher highs. It's double bearish divergence. We're having the right repercussions afterwards, and volume's picking up, so this tells me that the move is real, and likely it doesn't stop here. The buck probably doesn't stop here. If we're looking at this from an overall low to an overall high, oh, oops, I've got my not a fib on here. Let's see. Hold on, let me change that real quick. Where are we at? Good fib or just fib? Which one? Fib. I'm going to go with the fib, not the good fib. Okay. Getting below the 382 like this and just this kind of interaction, I would think we go lower. My expectation at this point in time, it's variable, right? We could go down to 107.8K and find support there. Bitcoin has shown a lot of love to the 0.5. I'm wearing green. The line is green. It might make sense that we get some green right there. I don't know. 107.8K, 107.7K. You know, if we're looking at the, let's look at the, what is it called? CoinGlass here. CoinGlass. Let's get it on the liquidation map. Yeah, we want that. We don't need the heat map. I feel like this is more comprehensive, right? So on the day here, over the last 24 hours, you can see that there's a lot of longs that'll get cleared out. Basically, $142 million in longs that'll get cleared out on Binance here at 107.7K, right? Talking about going down to 107.7K. Oftentimes, from what I've noticed, and by the way, this doesn't mean that we have to go down there, right? We're looking at this zone because it actually lines up very well with the target area that we might or might not touch. But if we were to go down there, typically you actually do go through this high liquidation zone. Think of it like this, right? If these are longs getting cleared out as they liquidate or as they take a loss, they have to sell. Right, so longs are buying whenever they close out their longs. They have to sell, and that's leverage selling back to just back to the exchange there. That creates more selling pressure. Oftentimes, you do go through these zones. So again, it wouldn't really surprise me if we went a little bit lower than that. Even, I mean, a little bit lower than that might be 107.1K at this rate. So it's very possible. If we're looking at this on the BTC exchange liquidation, which has Binance, OKX, and Bybit, if we put it on the 30-day, just to get it all. You know, there's a lot of shorts that are going to get wrecked here at 111K, guys. But it's been like that for like a week now, and we haven't gone up there. We've gotten close, but we haven't gone up there, and they've only stacked. So I do think that we're going to clear those out, but perhaps beforehand, if you notice there's a little gap here, beforehand we might clear out some of these longs first, going down to 107K, 106K maybe, something down there. If we're looking at the price, just using that as comparison, I think it would make the most sense that we probably go to 107 to 106.7K. Again, on the flip note of that too, you know, if there are a lot of longs right here at 103K, that doesn't mean we have to go down there. If we move down, they might take a loss, not flip short, but shorts might pile on, and then the directional heading might shift just in that way. It kind of does, the price does like to hunt for leveraged positions or people with their pants around their ankles, essentially. 108.5K is the price right now, you guys. 1 hour time frame does look bearish to me, right? It does. I mean, overall, I suppose overall it's bullish, but momentarily, just right here, it looks bearish, right? Lower highs, lower lows, that whole thing. We do have higher highs, relatively speaking, right here. We have lower highs in the price. 13 minutes left in this 1 hour time. Let's see how it closes, but I'm not expecting much out of this. That's not a big amount of volume on this candle, and I don't know. That just to me, that doesn't look like a bottom. Just because it doesn't look like a bottom to me doesn't mean that it is, or that it can't be. It could be, but 15-minute time frame also, you know, you got higher highs. Look at this. You broke out of your downtrend, which is nice. Or have you broken out of your downtrend? I might have spoken too soon on that. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you could have a blemish. You know, sometimes you get blemishes and come back down, depending on how. Yes, you've broken out, but if you come back down, no, that's a fake out. You can have fake outs in the RSI too. That does happen. So, at any rate, what you do have here is a higher high with lower highs in your price, or I guess a symmetrical high that is hidden bearish divergence. You're moving down with volume. You're moving up without it. Finding resistance here where you found resistance before. Bitcoin's been very good about ranging lately, right, guys? Like I feel like it's been very, very good. If you look at the 15-minute time frame, where you found resistance here was exactly at this. Look at this, right? Where you found resistance here was exactly at this area of resistance. Where you found support here was exactly in these areas of resistance here, excluding that blemish, right? And then you ranged very well, double top, double bottom, and then, you know, you didn't have the same reaction, so you went lower. We kind of got the same thing going on here, but on a smaller scale, double top, double bottom. Again, I don't think this looks like a bottom to me. Really, what I think is that we're getting set up for some bullish divergence on the 15-minute time frame. Oftentimes, these downtrends, whenever they break out or whenever they are coming to an end, what you see, and this is a 15-minute time frame. It's not that significant. By the end of the day, this should have some resolution. I think we should find our low by the end of the day. Doesn't mean the day has to close green. It could. I mean, hell, we could be at new all-time highs. You never know. I mean, we got a lot of shorts to liquidate, my friends, up at 111K. And again, that liquidating of shorts will cause a massive buying pressure because shorts have to buy back the price, right? These are leverage. So unless they take profits beforehand. But even then, if they take profits, they're going to have to buy back too. So anyways, what is it here? Whenever you break out of the downtrend, typically what you'll see is a sideways trend form. And then you'll start forming an upward sloping trend, right? That's kind of how it transitions. We get a sideways transition before the upward movement. And with this, you can get multiple readings in the oversold zone. Maybe this next dip is not the low, maybe the dip afterwards. But again, sometime by the end of today, the 7th of July, I would think we have some resolution. Now, where is that resolution going to be? Again, we don't know, but we're going to try to figure it out. Probably around 107, 108K, if not lower. We could go down to 106K. It's very, very possible, my friends. 1 hour time frame looks bearish, suggesting that we go lower if we get oversold, right? Typically, if we look at the oversold zone here, getting oversold, out of it, back into it, that's 2 iterations here. Into it, out of it, into it, that's 2 iterations there, and you kind of bounce. That's your second iteration was whenever you found support. That was your low. Your second iteration a lot closer here, but that's where you found your low. We go back here. Doesn't mean it has to be this way, but again, right here, first iteration, second iteration, even a third iteration there, and right, you keep going lower each of those times. Let's see if we can notice the transition I'm talking about. Maybe not here. That's kind of just one bearish. That's a huge bearish trend, actually, man. But kind of here, right? You can see downward sloping trend. You went sideways for a second, and then that sideways trend transitioned into a upward sloping trend. And then, of course, obviously you went down afterwards. But I don't think that we're going to see something like this. I would think that we do continue to grow. Right, we're probably not in jeopardy of moving down like a terrible amount. We'll see. I mean, hey, whatever. You know, more for us to buy, I suppose. That's okay. 108.4K right now on the 4 hour time frame, moving around a little bit. 9 minutes 57 seconds left. That's a nice bullish finish to this 4 hour time frame. I mean, we wicked down pretty hard. I would be more bullish on this if we found support directly here at resistance, right? Because we saw how significant these other areas of resistance and support were already. The fact that you wick down so hard doesn't give me confidence, right? Like we've done this before. You get these big wicks to the downside and you just fill them later. We're getting close to the low, but we're not quite there. That's what I'm thinking, right? Or like this, maybe we do have just a quick drop down all the way down to 106.3K. We do that, you guys. 106.3. I mean, that would clear out billions of dollars, right? 106, that takes out this kind of first wave of long positions here. I'm sure that there'd be some profits taken here, and then the shorts would probably pile on as well. So just because it's all the way up here doesn't mean that we have to go all the way down to 102 or 103K. But if we were, I mean, could we go sorry, could we go below this low here? I suppose it's possible. I suppose it is possible. I feel like we have a diamond pattern. Hold on, guys. I don't know. Can you hear it? My throat. I don't know what. It's just the mornings, man. When I mute the mic, I'm going like, but way louder, actually. I just try to keep a straight face. Anyways, this might be a diamond top. It's kind of interesting, but the central point, we thought it was a diamond top beforehand, right? Like over here, I think I was reading it wrong, and that's okay. Oftentimes they're kind of tricky to identify until they're very well formed, but I think we've got the diamond top, guys. I think it's kind of like a parallelogram almost, but it is, I think it the attributes here, or the physical, physical attributes. I don't know what the phenotypes for in honor of this hat. Although that's not exclusive to cannabis alone, phenotypes. But the physical features is all I'm trying to say. Do resemble a diamond, and if it is a diamond top, it's very common to break out one direction and then rip the other direction. So you do this at high velocity. So I am expecting a rather robust kind of shakeout of a drop. Could it take us below this low? Yeah, it could. I'm not necessarily expecting that, but let's run with that idea real quick. Here, I'll take it from the top down. That way we got the measurement. Let's say we're probably about to break out, I would think. Maybe I feel like it's slanted if I'm looking at it right. So maybe a little bit lower, something like this. That would put us down at 102K if the diamond top measure move comes to fruition. And 102K, that's where all those longs are at, you guys. I don't know. It's looking a little bit more feasible as we're looking at this here. Let's see what that makes sense with if we're looking at the low to high here. Low here, high there. Golden ratio. 0.69 rejection. Oh, I'll tell you what. With this is actually right here. A lot of these fibs we have not been showing respect on in this range. But from this low to high, that 236 bounce to 0.69 resistance, you guys, that's pretty significant support there. The 0.69 is not a fib, by the way. That's not a fib. It's just it's an area that I've identified, I've implemented on my fibs, because sometimes you do get these, like, let's call them a fake run up, which I definitely thought we were going to continue, whatever, but we're moving down. That's okay. We adapt, and it's really not a big deal. If it's a big deal to you, you're not in the right business, man. But in this situation, I would at least expect the 382 to find support, at least, which would mean we're going a little bit lower than anything we've talked about so far. 105.6K could be the target. There is a situation where Bitcoin could find support at the 236 again. We have had a good established relationship with the 236, so if we do find support around here, right there at about 107.5K, which we also have targets for, it makes sense to go there. That's even like the relative 61869 area of this low to high fib here. I'm pretty sure, isn't it? Or is it the 786? It might be a little bit lower. Okay, I guess that's actually the 886. It's a pretty deep retracement, but that's okay. If we don't stop here, we'll stop here. If we don't stop here, 102, 101K. And again, guys, when we break out of this, wherever the move is, they're known for high velocity volatile moves. So you're going to get a quick shakeout, and then it'll come back up, and then a quick dump, and then it'll come back up. Like it might do something like that. It'd be very fast though, right? It'd be like this stuff, but bigger. You see how here you dropped on this 4-hour candle. Let's zoom in a little bit. You zoomed in here, you dropped, and then you came back up, and then you dropped again, and then you came back up here, and then you dropped again. Like it was very volatile on the way down. It looks like it was just a straight line, but if you're watching it on like the 15-minute time frame, it's a volatile ride down. If you're watching it on a daily time frame, it's probably not that volatile. But I wouldn't be surprised if we go down to, at this point, I'm thinking right in the middle. That's kind of how I like to go for it, is like 105.6K. Let's say that. We have had a reaction here already, but this was before the high was drawn, so that doesn't count. This would be the first reaction with the 382. Being that we're in a kind of neutral stance with the price, I wouldn't be surprised if we wicked a little bit below there. We could find a true double bottom, or even like a slightly lower low, or maybe a slightly higher low, something around that area. If not, this is where things get tricky, because we could very well go to 102.7K to 101.8K. We could also find support at the 0.5 here at about 104K, because Bitcoin, it really does. The only thing that it likes more than the 236 lately is the 0.5. So it's kind of open season. If we get below the 236, your guess is as good as mine, man. We got yellow, green, and white. I don't know what country's got yellow, green, and white, but you guys are probably going to be rocking the floor for us here. Picking up volume as we're moving down. I mean, this candle, you guys, multiple times throughout this 4-hour candle, I've been watching it before I made this video. I've been watching this whole candle, actually, making some trades. It's gone all the way up. It's come down. It's looked like a very strong reversal candle, and then it just keeps coming back down. The fact that this last little 9-minute spree here, we're actually coming down a little bit more, tells me exactly what I'm saying. Is that I don't think this is the low. I think that we do go lower. So After that, we will probably recover. Where from? I don't know. 102K, 107K, somewhere in that range, right? A higher low than this, potentially a higher low than this, if not a slightly lower low than that, and that's fine. After we do that, we're looking forward to breaking out to new all-time highs. We just got to get above this 886. That's the area you got to get above. It's a clear point of resistance. On the price, the 886 is the gatekeeper to the zone of riches and glory, let's just say. 116 to 121K. It is the barrier. When you get a daily close above that, we're going to rip immediately to 116K. We're going to fly right to 120K. And I don't think that it stops there. We'll see prices that are all the way up at like, I don't know, 160, 180, maybe higher than that, as high as 200,000 potentially sometime by the end of August. It is the 7th of July now, so we're getting underway with this month, but we still have a lot of time left. I mean, we could flip this month red before we actually end up going up higher. So we'll see how long it takes, but I got nothing else for you guys. I think I'm just rambling at this point. So hit the like button, subscribe. I appreciate you all very much for being here, and buy the dip. Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.